Can you imagine this Neapolitan pizza is made in an air fryer? Oh, listen to that crunch. This recipe gives you that right thin airy crust with just the right amount of crispiness right in your air fryer. Let's get started. Let's start by making a polish. In a bowl, add 1 cup water, 1 teaspoon yeast and 1 teaspoon honey. The honey isn't just for sweetness, it acts as food for the yeast, helping it wake up and multiply faster. This not only speeds up fermentation but also adds a subtle depth of flavor to the final dough. Give it a quick mix until the yeast dissolves completely. Now, add 1 cup flour and stir until you get a smooth, sticky batter. This loose, high hydration mixture allows the yeast to develop complex flavor over time. In Neapolitan pizza, a polish is often used to create that signature light, airy crust with a crisp yet tender bite. The extended fermentation helps break down the flour naturally, making the dough easier to digest while also giving it those beautiful bubbles and slightly tangy depth. Cover it up and let it rest at room temperature for an hour. The longer it ferments, the richer, more aromatic and more authentic your Neapolitan style pizza will be. And then overnight in the refrigerator. And look at that fermented polish. See those bubbles? That's exactly what you want. Light, airy and full of life. Your polish should rise up beautifully, almost touching the cling wrap. This is a sign that the yeast has done its job, creating a dough that's going to be full of amazing texture and flavor. Now in a large bowl, add 2.5 cups of water. Then take the beautifully fermented polish and mix it in. You'll notice it dissolves into the water, creating a cloudy, foamy mixture. This step is crucial because it evenly distributes all the fermentation power throughout the dough, ensuring a consistent rise and texture. Once the polish is fully mixed in, add the salt and stir until it completely dissolves. Salt not only enhances flavor but also strengthens the gluten structure, helping the dough hold its shape. Now gradually add the flour, mixing as you go until it all comes together into a sticky, shaggy dough. Now scrape out any dry flour from the sides and mix it well, bringing everything together into a dough. Pick up the dough slightly above and push it down. This step develops the gluten structure without over kneading. Repeat this process until all the dry flour is completely incorporated, and this is exactly how your hand should look like, a little sticky but not overly wet. Now cover the dough and let it rest for another 20 minutes. This resting time helps the gluten relax, making the dough easier to work with. After 20 minutes, lightly oil your hands. This prevents the dough from sticking and makes handling much easier. Now, lift the dough up, stretch it slightly, then throw it down with a bit of force. This motion helps strengthen the gluten network without over kneading, which is essential for that perfect chewy yet airy texture. Make sure to lift it high enough so that dough stretches naturally before landing back on the surface. As you repeat this process, you'll notice the dough becoming smoother and tighter. This is exactly what we want. Keep going until you see a smooth ball-like structure forming. Once you reach that point, stop right there. Overdoing this can make the dough too stiff. Now oil the tray lightly to prevent sticking, then spread the oil throughout the tray. Spread the dough evenly across the tray, cover it up and let it proof for another 30 minutes. This extra resting time allows the dough to relax and become even more airy. While the dough is resting, let's start making our tomato sauce. First, take your tomatoes, cut small crosses. This helps loosen the skin while boiling. A good tomato sauce is the heart of any great pizza. Now, drop them into a pot and let them cook until you see the skin starts to separate. Once that happens, take them out and immediately transfer them into ice cold water. This helps prevent their vibrant color. Now carefully peel off the skin, be gentle, the tomatoes will be still hot. The simplicity of fresh tomatoes, olive oil and just the right balance of seasoning is what makes it so special. A homemade sauce brings out the true essence of a pizza far better than anything store bought. Once peeled, squish them with your hands. This might seem messy, but the reason behind it, squishing the tomato by hands gives the sauce a rustic texture, keeping small chunks intact instead of making it too smooth. It also helps release the natural juices, blending the pulp and seeds together perfectly. Many Italian chefs swear by this method because it keeps the sauce light, fresh, and full of flavors. Heat some olive oil in a pan, saute finely chopped onions and garlic until fragrant, then add the tomatoes, red chili powder, coriander powder, salt and a little bit of sugar to balance the acidity. Let this cook down slowly, creating a rich velvety sauce that will take our pizza to the next level. After 30 minutes, it's time to check on our dough. This is how it should look, soft, airy and beautifully risen. Now transfer the dough onto a countertop. Lightly oil your hands to prevent sticking. Then repeat the pull and throw process 2 to 3 times. This helps strengthen the gluten just a little more, ensuring our dough has perfect texture for stretching later. Next, take a bench scraper, divide the dough into equal portions. To shape each portion into a ball, gently stretch the dough outward, then tuck the edges into the center, creating a smooth, tight surface. This technique traps air inside, giving us that soft, pillowy texture we want in our pizza base. Now place the dough balls onto a clean, lightly oiled tray, making sure to leave some space between them. Lightly spread some oil over the dough balls. This prevents them from sticking to the cling wraps as they rise. Cover them up, let them rest for another 10 minutes. Once they rise and start touching each other, that's your cue. It's time to start making our pizzas. In a plate, take some semolina. This helps prevent sticking and gives our pizza that classic crispy texture. Carefully remove the cling wrap and using a bench scraper, gently lift the dough balls from the tray. Sprinkle some semolina onto the tray as well. This makes it easier to lift the remaining dough without tearing it. Now place a dough ball into the semolina filled plate, lightly coat it. Then start pressing down in the center with your fingers, gently stretching the dough outwards while leaving some space around the edges. This border is important. This is what gives our pizza that airy, puffy crust. Now preheat your air fryer at the highest temperature for 5 minutes. This step is crucial because we need the air fryer to be blazing hot, just like a traditional wood-fired oven. Once you have stretched your pizza dough, carefully place it into the air fryer. Be extra cautious. Bake the pizza base for 5 to 6 minutes. Once it turns golden and slightly crispy, now spread your sauce, add the toppings of your choice and bake for another 5 minutes. And oh, if you guys could smell the kitchen right now, the aroma is absolutely mind-blowing. Repeat the same process for your next pizza and just like that you have delicious air-fried Neapolitan pizzas ready to enjoy. And that's it, our air-fried Neapolitan pizza is ready. The best part, even without a wood-fired oven, this air-fried version gives you the beautifully crisp crust, a soft airy center and that perfect balance of flavors, just like an authentic Neapolitan pizza. Neapolitan pizza has a history as rich as its flavor. It originated in Naples, Italy, where street vendors and local bakers created this simple yet delicious pizzas for the working class. Over time, it became a worldwide sensation. But the heart of this pizza remained the same: high quality ingredients, a light and chewy crust, and the signature puffy edge. And now you can make it right at home in your air fryer. You are able to achieve that same beautiful texture and depth of flavors, making this a must-try recipe.